welcome to today's broadcast. I am so excited that you guys have logged on and you are standing ready for what we have today. Thank you guys so very much. Do me a favor if you would invite somebody, share with somebody, like this video. It would help us out tremendously. And I want you guys just to get ready for our broadcast, Empowered Life. We are living intentionally forward every day. This is our leadership lunch and learn, where we will give you lessons on leadership. Again, I appreciate you guys turning aside, spending this lunch with me. It means a lot. Let me tell you again, over and over again. Thank you guys so much. We're going to be about 35 minutes sharing some leadership principles and lessons that I know can take your life to another level. Let's jump right back into it. We've been in this series, Maximizing Our Potential, and we titled it Maximizing Your Potential. We're actually on part 3 of this, and we're developing the thought of the discovering the possibilities. There are endless possibilities that I believe if we will begin to tap into those potentials, it can take us to another level. We talked about understanding your potential, a revelation of growth. We talked about growth causes disruptions. Whenever you allow growth to happen in your life, picture this. Picture a soil, the ground, the soil. And then when a seed is planted and the ground is undisturbed, when that seed start growing, it disturbs the surface of the ground. And that's what we mean when we say growth causes disruptions. And so there are benefits to change because that's what's happening. Your life is changing. You have decided that you want to go to another level, that you want to maximize the potential in your life. And so now you have positioned yourself for growth, and change must take place if you're going to experience that growth. Now, watch this. I want to really even begin by asking you guys this simple question. And that is, are you living to your full potential? Wow, what a question. Again, are you living to your full potential? That's a question that is on the table, that's on the floor right now. And just be honest. Be honest with your answer. Be honest with what you're thinking or how you feel, because that's a legitimate question. Because we understand that we must maximize our potential, that there are possibilities that we have not tapped into yet. And so if we can answer that question, are you willing or living to your full potential? Then we will start on this cycle that we showed you guys about a week or two ago. The cycle here, the egg, the caterpillar, the chrysalis, the adult emerges, getting into the butterfly stage. We talked about you change, the caterpillar said. The butterfly said, we were supposed to. And I want you to get this one. Give yourself time. Not procrastination, but give yourself time as you progress toward a better change, a change that allows you to tap into the fullness of what's available for you. And so as you look at this change, there are benefits to this change. Let me give them to you again. A, change causes oneness. B, change creates opportunity. And then C, change captures objectives. Isn't that exactly what we're after? We're after capturing the objective of fulfilling our goals. And so when we backtrack, we realize that change calls oneness, where now our thoughts and our actions are congruent. They're cohesive. They're one. And it's going to allow us to get to where we're trying to go to. And then it changes, creates opportunities. And then finally, Change captures those objectives. Number two, utilizing your potential, the resources of growth. This is a real quick recap. This is a recap because we're going to our final point where we will conclude, but I just want to bring you up to speed. Growth always increases your capacity. Remember this. Growth always increases your capacity. Have you made the transition from I can't or can I to how can I? These are the changes that happens. Do things seem impossible or possible? If they seem possible, then you are ready to expand. Recapping again, guys. Give yourself an effectiveness audit so that you can be sure you are thinking what works instead of more work. Not just more work, but what works. Positioning your thought life so that you can capture those objectives. Think about your own behavior patterns. What is working and what do you need to do to adjust? Use the criteria of required return and rewards to help you make the needed adjustment. I say this all the time. Stay adjustable, adaptable, and flexible as you look forward to maximizing the potential to see and to realize all of the possibilities that is before you. Remember this. Now we're right where we need to be before we get to our final thought. Remember this. Change is personal, possible, and profitable. I'm giving you reasons why we don't want to look or frown on change, but that we would get excited about the change that we are making and will need to make to capture those objectives, to realize those possibilities, to maximize the potential that's right before us. And then here it is, our final point of discussion and thought. Ultimate potential. How do we go from level 1 to level 3? Ultimate potential, the rewards of growth, learning opportunities. I want you guys, I know I have a few people that's on and I have people that will join or watch this on demand, but is this so far, is this helpful? Let me survey the room. Is this helpful so far? And of course, I'm grateful for each one of you guys that are on, especially those that have greeted us. Is this helpful? Let me know. Talk to me as we run through these final thoughts. I want you to really look at this. What personal improvement plans do you have for the next year? Now, I want you to talk to me, even if you don't type this. Good. I have one yes. That's good. Even if you don't type this, I want you guys to write this down and to keep this in your thought pattern. What personal improvement plans do you have for the next year? I know, when people talk about their vision board, their life projections for 5, 10, 15 years and beyond, what I want you to do is shrink it down to 12-month intervals. What personal improvement plans do you have for the next year? For the next 12 months, how and what improvements do you plan to make? When improving, use these SMART guidelines and look at the word we're using, SMART, SMART. When you're trying to improve, remember this acronym SMART and use it as a guidelines to help you to get on the right track, to make the necessary improvement, the necessary growth that you can maximize these potential. S means specific. When improving, don't use words like bigger or faster. Be specific with your goal. Don't, because anybody can say, I want a bigger house or I want a faster car, but be more specific. What kind of house? What will be included? What kind of car? What's the color? Just be more specific. Sometimes I think we act when we make statements and we put stuff on our vision board, we make it a little broader than what it really should be. It's fine to be broad, but then how are you going to shrink it down to a workable way, a workable stage? You heard this said before, and if not, you hear me say this a lot. Listen to this. Here's another question. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. One bite at a time. You know the elephant is huge. You know the elephant is big, but you eat that elephant one bite at a time. That's how you accomplish your goals. One step at a time. One thing in the right direction at a time. Be more specific. That's what the S is. Here's the M, measurable. Measurable. Your improvement must be measurable. How do you know when you get there if it is not measurable? Measurable. Let's say you want to walk 1 mile a day. You want to start off walking 1 mile a day. All right, great. You say I'm gonna walk 1 mile a day. So how do you do it? You measure how many steps in a mile, how long is a mile, and then you just take one step at a time. Let's say you don't even finish the mile. Watch this. This is why being measurable is important. Let's say you don't make the mile. You're not going to quit. You're not going to see. You got to make sure that your mind is right, because if your mind is right, then you're going to say it takes, and I don't, let me just use this example. Let's say it's going to take 100 steps to get this done. Now, people a whole lot smarter than me can tell you exactly how many steps it takes in a mile, but let's just use 100 steps in the mile, and you only did 10 steps. Then guess what? You're 10 steps closer to that 100. So you look at the positive. See, measuring it is not for you to say, oh man, I didn't even make it. I didn't make 100 steps. I only did 10. How many you did yesterday? See, just look at it in a positive light, not in a negative light. 10 steps, 90 steps left, 10 steps, 90 steps left. The next day, 20 steps, 80 steps less, on and on until one day you'll stand up and rise up and you'll say, I did 100 steps. I did 1 mile. How did I do it? I did it little by little by little, making small little improvements, congratulating myself along the way, celebrating along the way, and not saying, oh, all I did. No. So that's how you have a smart guideline. Make it measurable. Watch this. Attainable. Improvement must be something you can actually achieve. Wanting to be an Olympic swimmer at the age of 65 may not be attainable. And now look, we're not saying everybody 65 can't do it. We're not saying that, but we're just using an average statistic. Normally, that wouldn't happen. So whatever age you are, I'm sure people at 65 years old can do way more than the Olympic goals. But let's go back to the example. It was measurable. So now, because it's measurable, we're making sure that it's obtainable. It's not just, I want a big car, I want a fast car, I want a big house, I want a fast car, but we're breaking it down so that we can actually accomplish little by little. We're not worrying about the person next to you, another person. Stay focused on your goals. Stay focused on your goals. It's not the person next to you or someone else. You stay focused. and you do it little by little by little to make it obtainable. That's what we mean when we say 100 steps. Again, this is just our example. 100 steps. We're going to do 100 steps a day. We're going to do maybe 10, 15, 2 or 3, but you're getting there little by little by little. You're not saying I'm going to run what's coming up now on what they call Easter Sunday is in Louisiana, in New Orleans particularly. It's a 5K race, I believe it is, the Crescent City Connection race, the race. Now, if you didn't exercise, if you didn't eat right, if you didn't do all of the things that you needed to do, you can't just wake up the morning of the race and say, I'm going to do these 10 miles. You didn't even do the first mile. See, you got to be measurable. It has to be smart. Get a smart guidelines so you won't die in the middle of the race or at the start of the race. I think somebody is getting this. Let's go back real quickly. Specific, measurable, attainable. Here's the next one. Realistic. Watch this. Is the improvement you desire a real goal or too distant? Wanting to lose 35 pounds in 1 month is probably not realistic. Just examples. Now, some people have lost 35. We're just using the average statistic that says the average person will not lose 35 pounds in 1 month, or the doctor will say something is wrong. So you want to make it realistic. Again, a big house, a fast car. Be realistic. Be realistic with your goals, because it will cause you mentally to burn out and to be frustrated if you have goals that's not realistic. Make it realistic. I'm not saying don't dream. That's not what I'm saying. Have dreams. Dream big. But nothing is more frustrating, especially in the mind, than to put something out there that is not obtainable, attainable, or realistic. Is the improve, because what realistically will you lose 35 pounds in 1 month? Here's the next one. Time. Y'all remember you remember now. You remember my it takes time. Remember this one. Give yourself time. An elephant can be eaten if given enough time. You will be amazed when you properly and accurately estimate time of what you can actually do. To be held accountable, improvement must be written, a time limit. Someday is not a goal. Someday is not a goal. Watch this. You ready for this? You ready for this? Someday is not a day of the week. You have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, not someday. So you can't even properly plan for that. That's not even on the someday is not even on the calendar. It's not a day of the week. To be held accountable, improvement must be within a time limit. Someday is not a goal. Today is a good beginning. Remember this. Thoughts equals actions. Actions equals habit. Habit equals character. Character equals destiny. If I'm going to maximize my potential, it starts with my thoughts and then my actions and what my habits done over a certain period of time. Character with holding to a certain belief system will ultimately get me to a desired destiny. Yes, 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 yes. So let's overcome some growing pains, and we're going to end our discussion and lunch. Hope you have some great lunch. I hope you have something that tastes good as you chew and eat and write and type. I hope you have something that's enjoyable as you, and I hope what you're eating now, what you're snacking on now is as enjoyable, hopefully, and preferably as the information that we're giving you. So let me give you some overcoming some growing pains. In what area of your life have you lost your stretch and settled in? Just some questions, food for thought, something to ponder, something to make you go, aha, aha moment. In what area of your life have you lost your stretch and settled in? Have you been able to define your own potential? If not, seeking aid in this or for a coach or mentor may be in order. Seeking aid in this or from a coach or mentor is in order. Because just like a good coach can tell you and train you, teach you particularly on areas that you may be football, basketball, or whatever, or in business or in finances. A good coach, a good mentor. What habits have you developed that have hindered your progress toward your potential? You got to ask yourself that question. What habit? Sleeping late, eating wrong, spending wrong, or vice versa. Good eating habits, exercising, saving. What habit? What habits? Remember, I gave you the formula. Remember this. Thoughts equals actions. Actions equals habits. Habits equal character. Character equals destiny. So, what habits have you developed that have hindered your progress toward your potential? Here's the third to the last one. Rate your satisfaction in areas of your life. In what areas have you become average and may have lost, watch this, some stretching. Stretching is important. Elasticity, the rubber band, if it loses its elasticity, it lost its ability to stretch. If it's dried, crinkled, you don't ever want to lose the ability to stretch, because being stretched is developing more capacity to handle and to do and to receive more. Rate your satisfaction in areas of your life. In what areas have you become average and may have lost some stretching? Almost done. Watch this. Create some specific means for stretching in the areas of your life for which you are no longer winning. Wow. Be open, be honest, be transparent with your thoughts. Remember, you're at lunch, you may be at the job, wherever you may be. Hopefully nobody's watching over your shoulders. You taking great notes. This is personal. This is for you. Ask yourself, be real, be honest with your answer. Create some specific means for stretching in areas of your life which you are no longer winning. What areas in my life that I am not winning? And I know we say all the time we win, but there are some times that things are not going the way we think they should or hope that they would. We have to be open and honest with those moments, those feelings, those situations. And then finally, remember to establish a balance between your potential and your present place so that the stretching is both possible and challenging. Possible and challenging. You want to always challenge yourself. You want to make sure that it's possible, that you are approaching it with the right mentality. Listen, I hope that this has been good information for you. That's what I hope. I want to take a break for just a moment. I have a book offer that I want to make, and then I'll be right back with some closing thoughts. I'll be right back after this message. Wow, I am excited about my latest project. In between the treatments, ticking at the bottom of the screens are ways that you can get your hands on a copy. And I am Kenneth Antoine, your certified speaker, coach, and trainer. I know I can help you. Ticking at the bottom of the screen again is ways that you can contact me. All of my services and everything that we offer is right there at that website. Reach out to me. Book me for your next event. Whatever you have going on, I'm right here to help you. This has been Empowered Life, our leadership lunch and learn. Hopefully you have received some lessons today that will help you, because always remember this: everybody deserves to be led well. And if you live intentionally forward every day, you will too. All right. Join me next week for our next thought on leadership. I have thoroughly enjoyed you spending this lunch with me. Thank you guys so very much. I'll be back next week.